Hello guys, welcome back again to another tutorial. My name is Dorothy. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to cut and sew this beautiful A-line dress with gathered ruffle sleeve. This dress is supposed to have like a covered button at the front, just like what you see on the thumbnail. Actually, I forgot to get a cover button. It's not really a big deal though. If you want it, you can get a cover button from the market. You can place it when you are done making the dress. It's totally optional. So now let's get started with this video. So the material that you will be needing to make this dress is, first of all, you'll be needing an Ankara print. You can get any Ankara print of your choice, and what you'll be needing for this dress, depending on the length and your size, you'll be needing 3 yards or 4 depending on your size. Then you'll also be needing a crepe fabric, any color of your choice, but make sure that whatever color you're getting matches with the fabric, your Ankara fabric. And also you'll be needing a bias tape and an elastic band rather. You'll be needing an elastic band. So now I'm going to take this over to the floor where we are going to be drafting this. Yes, this table cannot contain us, so we'll be drafting on the floor. To fold this, you're going to get one edge of your fabric, okay? Then you're going to fold it into 2 like this. Just watch the way I am doing it. I first of all arrange my fabric very well, then I pick one of the edge like this, then I folded it into 2, and this is going to give me a triangular shape. If you know how to cut 180-degree fillet, then this should be a walkover for you, because it's the same thing that you're going to be doing when you are drafting this dress. After you are done folding it like this, the next thing you're going to do is to check your measurements. Now whatever you fold, make sure it should be able to accommodate your shoulder measurements and your hip measurements, which is the most important. So now after folding, I'm going to check my shoulder measurements divided by 2, and I'm going to place it anywhere randomly to check if it's okay. And right here I got the half of my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5 inches. You can add like a half an inch sewing allowance to it, or you can add 1 inch extra sewing allowance to it. So I'm just going to connect this into an horizontal line on this part that I mark half of my shoulder measurement. You can refer this line as our starting line, our shoulder line, or our neckline. And when we are done with that, the next thing we are going to do is to mark all our vertical points. Now to do that, you're going to go up by 6 inches for our sleeve strap. Go up by 6 inches, but make sure that the exact 6 inches on the measuring tape is on this neckline, okay? Then the first measurement you're going to be marking is the length of this dress. For the Ankara part, I'll be working with the length of 36 inches. So just place your measuring tape like this and start marking the length of your dress. Since the length I will be working with on this Ankara piece is 36 inches, I'm just going to place my measuring tape like this, and I will measure the 36 inches all the way around, just the way you see me doing. So go ahead and do the same thing likewise. After I am done marking, I'm just going to use my chalk to connect all these points together like this. After I am done with that, the next thing I'm going to do here on the side, I'm just going to go up by 3 inches and I will make a mark. Then I'm going to use my chalk to connect this all the way to the line right here. We are basically done drafting this front piece, so the next thing I'm going to do is to use my scissors to cut it out. So guys, here is the front piece. The next thing I'm going to do is to fold another pieces of fabric for the back piece. For the back piece, you're going to be folding exactly the same way you fold for the front piece in a triangular shape. After folding it up like this, the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the front piece, then I will place it on the back piece like this. Make sure that everything is equal, everything is aligned, okay? After you are done placing the both pieces together, the next thing we are going to do on the center back right here, you're going to come down by 3 inches, 4 inches, or 5 inches depending on how long you want it to be. For me, I will be adding 3 inches length to the center back. If you want, you can add 5 inches or 7 inches depending on what you want. After that, I'm just going to use my chalk to connect this all the way to the side. Now the side is going to remain equal. Where we are going to be adding is just the center back. Okay, the side remains equal. So after connecting the line like this, I'm just going to use my scissors to cut all this out. So guys, our front and our back pieces is ready. Now the next thing we are going to do is to create the armhole. To do that, I'm going to go up by 6 inches just like I have been doing. Then I'm going to come down by 8 inches for the armhole length. After that, I'm going to mark my neckline measurements. Now for the neckline measurements, I will be working with a measurement of 6 inches and I'm going to make a mark right here. After that, I'm just going to use my free hand to connect the 2 points together, and that is our little armhole right there. Now I'm going to use my scissors to cut this out, and that's pretty much about it. Now I'm going to keep these pieces aside while we work on the ruffle sleeves. I have these pieces of fabric that I'll be using for the sleeve. So what I'm going to do right now, I will first of all fold this into 2 because I'll be cutting out the both sleeve together. You can decide to make your sleeve really fuller than what I am working with. Now the length I am working with is the length of 23 inches. This length will give you that ruffle, but if you want your sleeve really full, you can go ahead and use the length of 40 or 50 inches. Okay, I'm just working with the leftover fabric that I'm having right now. So after measuring it, I'm just going to trim out all these excesses. Then I will cut this into 2 equal halves. Now I'm going to fold this into 2. Then I will bring the both edges together, making it another fold. At the edge right here, I'm going to come in by 3 inches and I will make a mark. After that, I'm going to use my chalk to connect this point and mark 3 inches all the way to the side like this. After that, I'm just going to cut this out. This is what the sleeve is looking like after I was done cutting. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be folding the edges of the sleeve. Okay, so I'll fold it into 2, take it over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to run a stitch, and I'm going to do the same thing for all the side. Before I go over to the sewing machine to do that, I'll be using my bias strip to create casing where I will be passing the elastic band. You are going to be placing the bias strip like this. After that, you're going to be running stitch on both edges. I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine now to sew. So guys, let's fix the band that run from the neck all the way down to the length of the front piece. As you can see, I have already cut out the crepe that I will be using. And to get the measurements, you're going to measure from your neckline all the way down to the length of the front piece, because this band is just going to be at the front piece. After cutting out the measurement on the crepe fabric, the next thing you're going to do is to iron interfacing on it so that it will give the crepe fabric some strength. This part is totally optional. If you're working with a much thicker crepe fabric, then there's no need for that. Now the width of this crepe fabric is 4.5 inches. So after I was done ironing the interfacing on it, the next thing I did was to fold the both edges so that by the time I place this on the front like this, it's going to be easy for me to sew. So now I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew the both edges. So guys, this is what I have after I was done sewing the band on the front piece. You can see how neat this looks. And also I have gone ahead to fold the edge of the sleeve and also fix the bias strip. You can see how neat this is looking. Now what we are going to do next is to create the ruffles on the sleeve. So I'll be using this 1/2 inch elastic band for this. Now remember, when we were drafting the front and the back pieces, remember we went up by 6 inches and I said that 6 inches is for the sleeve. Now you're going to multiply that 6 by 2 and it's going to give us 12. So I'm going to measure that 12 inches on this elastic band and I will cut it out, and I will be cutting 2 out for the both sleeve. After cutting it out, you're just going to tack the elastic band on a safety pin. Then you're going to pass the safety pin through this casing you created. Okay, now you're going to be using the smallest of the safety pins so that it will be able to pass through the casing we created. After we get to this edge right here, we're just going to use our office pin to hold this down so that it doesn't move inside. And after you're done with that, you're going to continue passing this safety pin all the way through to the other edge. After we are done passing this elastic casing, the next thing we are going to do is to measure it if you are going to have the 12 inches measurements we are working with. When I measured this, I have the 12 inches measurements we are working with. If yours is over or lesser, you can go ahead and adjust until it fits the measurements you are working with. And after that, we are going to take this over to the sewing machine and we are just going to top stitch on the elastic band so that it stays in place. So I got the second sleeve ready. So the next thing I'm going to do is to pick one of the sleeve, place it before the armhole. Okay, I'm just going to place it like this. Then I will use my office pin to hold it together. Now you're going to be placing this sleeve, the right side of it facing the right side of the front piece. And after you're done doing that, you're going to do the same thing to the second piece as well. You're simply going to pick the sleeve, place it on the other side of the sleeve, right side facing each other, but make sure that you're placing it before the armhole curve. Okay, then use your office pin to hold it together. After you're done putting the sleeve in place, the next thing you're going to do is to pick the facing. Okay, I cut this facing off camera, but I believe that you can cut a facing, so go ahead and cut your facing. Then you're going to place this facing on the dress like this, right side facing each other. Then we are going to take it over to the sewing machine and you're going to sew it just the way you see me directing. So let me go and do this and bring it so that you see what it looks like. So guys, this is what it looks like after I was done sewing. I started from the end right here all the way to the armhole, to the neckline, all the way down here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is to knot around this armhole curve so that when I turn this over to the right side, the facing is going to sit perfectly. While you're notching, make sure you do it carefully so that you don't end up cutting through it. When you are done notching, you're going to turn this over to the right side just the way you see me doing. You'll be turning it out completely. You can even use your sharp object like your scissors to push out any sharp edges. After you are done arranging the facing to sit perfectly, you're going to take it over to the ironing table and give this a good press. But right now there is no light, so when I'm done sewing, then I will iron it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to bring the back pieces. Okay, I'm going to place it like this on the table. Then I will arrange the front piece and place it on it, right side facing each other. Now I'm just going to pick one of the sleeve and place it like this. Then I will use my office pin to hold it together. I'm basically doing what I did for the front piece when I was fixing the sleeve, so I'm just doing the same thing for the back piece as well. Okay, I will place the first one. After I am done pinning this first one, I'm going to repeat the same thing to the second one as well. Now that I am done holding the sleeve in place, the next thing I'm going to do is to pick the facing for the back. I will place it on the neckline like this, right side facing each other. Now I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine and I'm going to sew it just the way you see me directing. After I was done sewing, I went ahead to turn it over to the right side, then give it a very good ironing. Now the next thing we are going to do is to join the both side. Okay, so I arranged the both pieces together, right side facing each other. You know, when I was drafting, I didn't leave so much sewing allowance, so I'm going to be joining this side by half an inch. Okay, and when I get down to the hemline, that is to the length right here, I'm going to leave about 1 inch so that I can be able to attach the ruffles later. So guys, this is what I have after I was done joining this side from the armhole all the way down to the length. But like I told you, I left about 1 inch opening so that I can be able to place the ruffle. So when I was joining the front and the back, I discovered that the back side is longer than that of the front, which is not supposed to be so. So I used my scissors in trimming it out a bit, and I did the same thing to the other side as well. Okay, so if you have something like that where your both sides are not equal, you're just going to trim it out because the sides are supposed to be equal. It's the center back that is supposed to be longer, not the side. Okay, okay. And now that we are done trimming the both side, the next thing we are going to do is to measure around this, okay. We are going to use this measurement to cut out the crepe fabric, and whatever we are going to have, you're going to multiply it by 1.5, or you're going to multiply it by 2, depending on how full you want your ruffles to be. So guys, I have already cut out the pieces of crepe fabric that I'm going to use as the ruffle, and the width is 12 inches, while for the length I'm having a length of 60 inches, okay. I have 2 of these pieces, one for the front and one for the back. So the next thing I went on to do was to fold the edge of one side, while on the other side I run a gathered stitch. Now on the side I run a gathered stitch, I'm just going to pick one of the thread and I will start pulling on it to create the gathers. So guys, this is what I have after I was done gathering this one, and off camera I went on to gather the second pieces as well. So now we are going to be fixing this to the main dress. Now I'm going to bring my dress, then I'm going to place this gathered on the front, okay. So I'm going to be placing the right side of the crepe facing the right side of the dress, okay. Then I will arrange it properly, then I will take this over to the sewing machine to sew all the way around. Then I will do the same thing to the back pieces as well. I'll pick the crepe for the back pieces, place it on the back pieces, arrange it properly, then I will take it over to the sewing machine to sew it. After I am done sewing, I'm going to be closing the side, okay. So let me go and do this and bring it so that you see what it looks like. So guys, this is what I have after I was done joining the gathers to the dress, and after I was done with that, I went on to close the side. As for the pocket, it was after I was done sewing the pocket, it was after I was done joining the dress that I just thought to myself that, oh, it would be nice if I put a pocket to it. So I just did something fast, then place a pocket. If you don't know how to fix a pocket to an A-line dress, I have a detailed tutorial, and I'm going to be leaving the link of the video in the description box and also on end screen. So check the video out. I know it's going to be very useful. And this brings us to the end of this tutorial. If you find this video really helpful, do well by giving this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. For now, bye. I will see you all in my next video.